Alright guys, I am back, and what we are making today is ephemera folios, and I bought tape a couple months back to make all of these, and now I cannot find it. So we're just going to make one because I have 5 to make. So I'm going to show you my process. There are a ton of videos already out there, but this is how I do it. These are the ones I made for Christmas. For a couple of people. Like I said, it's going to be your preference, and you're going to have to make your own to know which style you like. When mine vary, I will tell you from like normal patterns. And this is just honestly like a personal preference, not a see, I don't want it to like, there's, with like everything, there's like different ways to make different things. You know what I mean? So what you're going to need is you're going to need 2 pieces of 12 by 12 papers. You're going to need some vellum or plastic page protectors. If you use the page protectors, no glue that I have found yet works on gluing it down. So if you use those plastic page protectors, you're going to need to sew it. In my experience, maybe you have a different glue that works, and if you do, please let me know. Okay, oop, and I'm losing my footing here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I don't have any of my thick cardstock anymore, so I'm going to make a spine. This was made out of a pizza box, like recycled, and I'm going to go ahead and double it up. And at this point, I am using Fabri-Tac. Here in a few minutes, we'll be using tacky glue. Because, oh, what I was telling you is a few months ago, I bought the double-sided carpet tape to do this project, and now I organized so well, I organized it right out of the craft room visibility. So we are going to do it a little bit different. Okay, so in this piece measures 2 inches, okay? So this will be a pretty hefty spine for the 2 inches, okay? All right, so where I start is with 1 piece of paper. Okay, and normally I had been doing it right in the middle at 6, and then we'll turn it around and we'll measure the 9 inches and score it the other way. But before I get ahead of myself, now though, I'm going to not do that, and I'm going to do it at 6.5, because then when it flips in like this, it's not going to catch up, because I was still having to cut some of this off so it wasn't interfering with anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to try one here at 6.5. I'm going to score at the 6.5 mark. Then I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to go down to 9. So my pocket, no, wait a minute. Maybe I'll do 8 3/4. Let's try that, because that will make the pockets smaller than they used to be. But I think that'll still be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do my second piece just like that too. Okay, so we want to go 6.5. And then we want to do, what was that, 8 3/4? Is that what we did? Yeah. And I'll tell you why in just a second. Okay, get our scoreboard out of the way. And remember, mountains and valleys. So we're going to crease that down. I'm going to score this up. Well, I think that makes just a fine pocket. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is this fold here. See this part right here? See how that's our score mark? We're going to take our scissors, and at that score mark, we're going to cut a V out of it. Okay? Just like that. Okay? Don't go up here. This is part of your spine, okay? Or not spine, but your closure. So now look. We have this and this, okay? I'm going to go ahead and glue it while it's in this position here. I need to soak this. Okay, and this may end up being 2 videos. I'm not sure. I've never really tried to film while I'm making one of these. Okay. So that one goes up. And I'm not going to glue this side here. Oh, it might go up. I forget that with this paper, and this paper is the Blue Fern Studio, Jen Bishop's, part of her series. And I get it at my local brick and mortar store, but I know on Etsy you can get it at a couple of different places. So you'll just have to look on Etsy for it. Again, it's Blue Fern Studios paper, Jen Bishop collection. Bird Waltz, I believe is the pack name. Okay, now we're going to fold this one up and we're going to just set it aside for a minute. Okay, we're going to do the same exact thing as we did with the other one. Fold it in. Score it down, or not score it, burnish it, right? Same with the bottom. We're going to bring up the bottom pocket. Okay, and we're going to fold it, and we're just, remember, we're just taking where those score marks meet, right? Just like this. We'll just go up like that, okay? Okay, we open it back out. Glue up this side. And this is pretty much the modifications that I was telling you about a second ago. This is, not everybody does it this particular way. And that's okay. It's what I do. So yeah. And looks like we have a little bit of a edge there. I'll have to trim that out. Okay. So, or did I do that completely backwards? Oh, I did. Look, I made 2 sides exactly the same. That's okay, because like I said, I have 5 of these to make. So we need to do it the opposite way, okay? So I got to do it in reverse here. I'm going to set that up there, though, so that I can remember. Okay, so instead of getting myself all flipped around and turned upside down, I'm just going to flip my paper upside down, right? Okay. So I want to do, right, let's just try it. What's the worst that's going to happen? I just use it some other way. Wait, we did 6.5. I don't like that score tool. Okay, and then I'm still going to turn it this way and do 8 3/4. Okay. Now we should have the exact opposite once we get it folded up here. I'm going to set that aside for a second. Okay, and I'm going to open it up. Well, turns out that I did actually close it up, just I still don't think that's right. Boy, I might have to stop this recording and like figure myself out. It's been since December since I made one of these, so. No, it's right. Okay. So, we have the exact opposite, right? Okay. Right here, and right here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this upside down and hopefully... Oh, great. Apparently, I really got dried out of my water within the last week or two, because I usually keep a watering can there. Oh, great. That looks great. So we're just going to keep it like that, and it will probably topple over on me. Anyways, okay, so now front cover, back cover. I'm going to flip it open here, get all my other stuff out of the way for a second. There is a reason I'm going to use this tacky glue over Fabri-Tac. One, because I don't have that much Fabri-Tac, and two, because I don't have, okay. So see, what I'll have to do is when, actually I probably better do that now, huh? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take 1/4 of an inch off the top here. Take enough? Yep, just about right. Okay. Since I can't find that tape, then we have to build it a little bit differently, right? So, I'm going to do one side at a time, so I'm going to take this out so I can really focus on getting the placement of this right. Okay? I don't know, all of a sudden now I'm jittery. I don't know. Too much caffeine today, I think. Okay, I'm going to go about 1/2 inch down here. And about 1/2 inch here. Or maybe more like an inch, I'm not sure. I have not done it this way in a really long time, so I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit so it lays a little flatter when we put everything on. Oh. Okay, now I'm going to do it where it's separated out a little bit here. It is much easier with the tape, but like I said, I don't know where it is. And what we might end up having to do is put a little bit more of the glue on at the top and the bottom. We're going to lay that there, that there. Now, make sure that's all lined up well. Looks pretty good. Okay. Lay that over like that. We're going to do the exact same thing on this other side here. Oh no, and the glue is leaking out. All right. Okay, now I'm going to have to go on the whole other side here. Okay, let that out for a minute, maybe. Sorry if I'm not over talkative on this video, but yeah. Concentration. Okay, spread that one out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to bring that back in with my finger. We're going to line that up like that. Just a little closer. Okay, now I'm going to bring this over like so. Okay. Oh, and what I was saying is the other reason why I'm using tacky glue over Fabri-Tac is that I don't want to see my glue through this. Okay, let that sit for just a second. So while that's sitting for a second, let's talk about the inside pieces. I use Vellum. I get this from my local shop, and I would say it's safe to say that you'll need, if you're making one, you'll probably need 10 sheets of vellum, give or take. Yeah. So let's see, that should probably be dry enough. We'll go ahead and maybe, yep, flip it up. Normally you don't have to worry about the sticky. Okay. So now that makes it easier to come over to this side since it's already pretty much together. And I do think I'll have to like stop the video and then we'll have to, that's what I'm looking for, restart it again. Okay, so you're going to grab your fabric before you glue. And any excess fabric we'll just trim off at the end. Okay, and now this time we can pretty much do both sides since it's already together. And sometimes you're going to be a little off on your fabric placement. That's okay. I have not found any great significance in it being off a little bit. Oh, and as we're going, I'll tell you why I use the things I use and where I use them. It's because that's what I have found works for me. Okay. Okay, I'm going to need a little more glue here. Off my finger. Okay, now we're going to set this aside and we're not going to touch it for a while, especially since we use the glue instead of the tape. I ultimately think that this will last longer, in my opinion, than the other stuff. But before well, I guess I can do it on this other one since I already have it done. Okay, we're going to set that aside, let it get good and hard. And that fabric was like Walmart fabric last year. Okay. Okay, so then what I do is I'm going to go ahead and take this and fold it in half. That's just plain cardstock. And I will tell you I use light cardstock because the glue shows up through, like if you use this vellum with a maroon color, it shows the glue marks. And I don't particularly care for that, so that's why I do what I do. Okay, I'm just going to make sure height-wise it's going to fit just fine. Yep. Yep, okay. All right, so then what I do is I take one piece of vellum. Well, technically I run more than one, but so what you're going to do to get what I'm doing, you cut it exactly in half, so at like 5 1/2. Then I usually stack my papers together and then I'll trim off 1/4 inch. So it's about 1/2 inch. So they're about 5 inches wide, or yeah, well, just under 5 1/2, I guess. Maybe I take, yeah, maybe I take off about a 1/2 inch, give or take a little. But just a sliver, okay? And then I cut 2, 2, 2, and then it leaves me just over 2, like almost 2 3/4 left, or a little over 2 1/2, okay? So that's how I get the size that I'm using. So then I do one up here, one right here, and then we'll put one of the larger pockets down here at the bottom, okay? Now I try as much as possible to keep the glue completely to the edges. It doesn't always work because we're always human, right? We're human first. So it doesn't always work, but try to get it just to the bare edges. I have tried both the sewing and the gluing. Oh, I'm using art glitter glue because that's what I found works for me the best to actually adhere it. It does wrinkle a little. I'm not going to lie. It will wrinkle your vellum a little. And when you're doing it, smooth out, down, and to this side. Because you want excess glue going out, not in, because it cuts down on the amount of pocket space if it goes to the inside. Oh, I all of a sudden feel like I'm being really bossy. But if you do take your bone folder around there, then it does seem to smooth down the effects of the art glitter glue on the vellum. But then it sticks. Those of you who I mailed one at Christmas time, if you want to comment below on how it's holding up, that would be really helpful. Mine's holding up just fine. Oh, but what I was saying is I have sewed the vellum on before. I think it rips far faster than the glued ones. Though I will say this is that I'm not in and out of my my ephemera folder all the time. You know, like maybe once a day, or like when I'm crafting, which will probably be a lot more now that I'm done at the tax office. But I'm just saying, like, for me, I'm not in and out of it all the time. So that might make a big difference. Okay. And you can measure these if that makes you feel better. I don't. I eyeball them. Okay, now you move to the inside. And this is probably where I'm going to pause the video and get all my papers ready because you guys don't want to see this over and over and over again. But I'm going to do this on 6 pieces of cardstock. Front, inside, inside, and back. And I'm going to do that 6 times, okay? So I've already got like 6 of them over here. Yeah, 6 pieces of cardstock, okay? All right, so I will be back in just a little bit, and by that time I bet our cover and our papers are done, but I will tell you it will be dark, so the video quality, and I won't say quality, but the video lighting will be different. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Or in a minute, sorry. Okay, guys, I am back. Our cover and stuff is dry, and I've got all my sheets in. So what I'm going to do now is just trim off this excess fabric. Okay. Then, sorry about the lighting. I know it's a little bit annoying and green. I don't know how to make that stop though. I don't know if it's my camera or my phone or what, but okay. So anyways, now I have this pattern that I've made before with the last ones. The only difference is that it's a little bit shorter than the last one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm good and lined up. And that it looks pretty even top to bottom. And then I'm going to take my permanent marker. I'm going to do 2 small little dots for where I want the holes. But before I remove it, I'm just going to lift it up to make sure I got all of them, and I did not. Okay. That one's faint, but I can see it. Okay. So then, like usual, we're just going to poke our holes in there. Maybe. That one's off a little bit, isn't it? It is. Okay. Well, that's what I get, right? I just have to remember to go up a little bit with it, with the signature, with the hole. Up and over, it looks like maybe. I actually don't think that's going to matter a whole lot. Okay, so yeah, we got those holes in. We'll close. Oh, you know what we need to do? And I probably should have done this beforehand. I was thinking about it. All right, while I'm making the holes in my signature, I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down. I did not glue these before, and I have regretted it ever since. Because mine like falls off, and I'm sure that's one of the annoying things that people would tell you with the ones that got it for Christmas. Because it's annoying to me. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. And then my signatures will catch it. And I decided on black because I don't really have any other colors, and I cannot go to the store. And I think it does put a nice contrast in there. I think they look nice. So, okay. So I'm going to set that aside for a second. And then I'm going to get my signatures over here. There's just 3 to each signature. Now, again, double check to make sure all your pockets open at the top, okay? Okay, so we're going to put this in there. I know you can't see this, guys, but I think all of us have sewed in a signature before, so I'm not overly worried about that. And you'll notice that I didn't actually clamp my papers together. There's really, in my opinion, no need when you're only doing 3 pages. Okay. Made sure they're all at the top. I'm going to go to the second one. I don't actually think it's not off so much that I think I need to make a huge adjustment in these. But if you feel better doing the paper clips or clamps or whatever you use, go ahead and do that. Okay, now I do sew these in with a little bit thicker thread. This is a cotton thread. So, I don't know, I guess for me it just feels like it gives a little more security. So that's what I'm going to keep with. I don't know that it does or it doesn't, but that is just what I do. And I don't measure out anymore. I just do the oh gosh, I don't cut the length. I just navigate around it, and it's actually saving me thread. That's what I was looking for. And I go through the top. Some people go through the bottom. Some people make like way different layers. And it looks like I'm making a giant mess, but I promise it's not that easy to navigate it on camera and not like especially with these flapping everywhere. It's not the easiest. It's not like a regular signature. But this is how I do my 3-hole pamphlet. And especially with this thicker stuff, I don't feel the need to go up to the top and then back down in again. We have hitchhikers. Okay, same as before, crisscross, right? And then I just pull it tight. Actually, I think I'm going to pull this one back out a little bit so there's not quite so much hanging down, because I'm not putting charms on this. Not that I ever end up usually putting in charms, but actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and trim. And I'm going to switch these around, because I think it will lay better. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just switching the side of which the ties are on. And then always double check that you're tight. And I double knot mine. Just a square knot. Okay, there we go. That's signature 1. Now I do think for video purposes I am going to go ahead and clamp that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and, oh, you know, I better not turn it upside down. Because if I do that, then we're going to end up, and by we I mean me, I'm going to end up sewing it upside down. And then I'll be frustrated, and then we'll have to take it out, and, you know, all that jazz. And I think all total, one of these takes me about an hour, but keep in mind I've made like probably 15 of these already. So the more you make, obviously, the faster you'll get. But I would say if you planned out 2.5 hours to 3 hours, you could probably whip out a couple, especially if you did like I said, did a lot of like pre-prep. So like I have to be careful with this one, because this is the one that'll be off. A little bit. The hole's up and over just like 1/8 of an inch, so we'll just have to watch that when we tighten everything down, that it kind of lines out a little bit. Anyways, especially if you have all your stuff cut ahead of time before you start. It makes it pretty easy then. Oh, that hasn't happened in a while. On the first time, I didn't even have to really fight it. Okay, okay. Snip that one off. And voila, we have an ephemera folder. Pretty easy folder or folio, right? Isn't that what they're called, as folios? I'm not sure. All right, so remember how I said I might have to go back and glue? I am gonna go ahead and go back and glue in these little corners. And I'll probably, again, use my tacky glue, Aleene's. Get those down a little bit. But yeah, then it just ties closed. Ugh, look at all that dust and glue goobers coming. I guess it's not goobers, it's just, you know, linty stuff on my desk. So yep, then you just tie it closed. Look at all that dust. Ugh. I promise they'll be lint rolled before they go out. So anyways, this is part of the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, which I will do an entirely separate video. But just to those of you who are new, wouldn't know this, but I am doing several things for the 1,000 because I missed I think it's like 500 through 1,000. I missed giveaways. So there's actually going to be 10 giveaways. There'll be 5 of these for the ephemera, and then a custom journal of your choice will be the prizes. So, but I will probably have that video done like Sunday or Monday. Yeah, I'm gonna keep working tonight, and it's Friday night, so yeah, I'm just gonna kind of keep working on these till my eyes cross. I can't do any more. So yeah, I hope you all are well. I hope you enjoyed this, and like I said, these will be all lint rolled. But yeah, they're pretty fun, pretty easy to make. Yeah. All right, guys, we will talk to you in the next video, and I hope you're all doing well, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.